All right, guys, full disclosure 2026, right? I've been saying this for a minute. We need to prepare ourselves because it's happening. So the government recently, like very recently, just gathered 200 pastors together in a private room, no cell phones allowed, all of that, top secret. And the whole meeting was to let them know that they need to kind of get their people ready, that they need to prepare them for this disclosure that's about to happen. And I'm not talking about the Steven Spielberg movie. They basically told them they need to tell their people, prepare them for what's about to happen, specifically mentioned reptilians, right? So personally, I never understood why the existence of aliens. Oh, and also, by the way, they're specifically calling them interdimensional beings. So I'm sure you already know, but if you don't, if you're still thinking of aliens as being these like three-dimensional beings that live on other planets and stuff like that, it's not exactly like that. Maybe that's the case sometimes, but not always. These are interdimensional beings. Their world interpenetrates our own. Believe it or not, they can phase in and out of our perception of reality at will. And you know, our limited view of the scope of what we can see, or the spectrum, is really, really small in comparison to everything that exists. The reason I'm making this video is because I think it's really important now more than ever that we use our discernment, because we know the government doesn't really ever do anything that's benevolent, right? They are always pushing an agenda, and they always give us a sliver of truth buried in a shit ton of lies, right? Maybe the sliver of truth being interdimensional beings exist, but then, you know, pushing some sort of agenda. I'm sure it's going to be some sort of fear campaign. So I was thinking about the reasons of why this might be happening now. One of the reasons was because maybe they're going to try to, you know, funnel more money into war and weapons and things like that. But so I was watching one of the pastors specifically, and he wrote a book saying that, you know, he believes that aliens are demons. So like, assuming that was the case, which I don't believe, do we really think we're going to fight off these demons or interdimensional beings with guns? I think not. So then I was thinking, okay, this is probably what's going to happen. They're going to come out with something that says that, you know, these reptilian interdimensional beings, they have some sort of virus and it's contagious and it's going to wipe us out. And so they'll come up with some sort of medicine, if you know what I mean, and try to mandate that everybody gets it. And if you don't get it, they're going to shame you, and they're going to make you feel like, you know, you want to hurt everybody's grandmother and all that craziness. We all know how that goes. So I was thinking, like, why the pastors, right? Like I said, I never really got why, if God created us, right, then why wouldn't it make sense that God also created other beings? You know what I mean? I don't understand why that wipes out the Bible, if that's what you follow and all of that. But what I do know is that religion has been used to control the people, right? So of course they would get all of the pastors together, because I think there are over 2 billion Christians or something like that. Christians, Catholics, you know. And then also, did they get like the bishops from the Mormon church, or was it just the Christians? I don't have those details, but I do feel like the reason that they gathered the pastors is so they can get ahead of this and control our perception. They can control what we think about what's going to happen. Now, if these interdimensional beings are going to be announced and they exist, then they've existed, right? It's not something new. They haven't just gotten here. I think like ETs and UFOs really started popping up around the 40s, maybe, like right around when we started messing with like nuclear weapons. So if they were a threat, wouldn't we already be like smashed to pieces? Now, don't get me wrong, I won't get off on too much of a tangent. I do believe that there are reptilians, and I do believe they're running the world, so they are a threat. But that's not what they're going to tell us. If anything, these interdimensional beings are benevolent, right? And so if anything, they're gonna reveal these reptilians that have been running the world, and they don't want that, right? These politicians, these actors in Hollywood, all of this stuff. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna get ahead of it and try to control what we think. So now it's more important than ever that we use our discernment, we tune into ourselves, and we figure out what our truth is, and we don't just follow our government blindly.